War and Peace Revival Show provides its visitors with the chance to walk through our wartime history. And in 2014, across the 5 days of the show, about 100,000 people took the opportunity to do so. And as befits the biggest show of this sort in the world, that is a variety of histories, reflecting warfare across the 20th and into the 21st century. From the 2 worldwide conflicts, the likes of Northern Ireland and Vietnam, to the recent conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. The old Folkestone racecourse has been the home of the show since 2013. During World War II, it was also the location of RAF Westernanger and is located just off Junction 11 of the M20. Whilst real vehicles, equipment and weapons, even earthworks, provide a realistic look to everything, it is the people in the reenactment or living history groups that really bring everything to life. And although they are often positioned behind the wire, this is actually rubber barbed wire, quite safe, they are always very happy to talk about and explain what they're doing, the era, battle or organisation they represent. After all, that is why they invest so much time, effort and money into getting their vehicles, uniforms and displays realistic and accurate in the first place.
Firepower. There'd be a section of men walking behind us and you'd probably have 4.
Their displays with vehicles and even buildings covered an area of 35 acres around the racetrack. There were far too many to show them all in this short video, but as well as the 4,000 odd vehicles, there were, for example, dioramas like this Battle of Britain reenactment with a Spitfire and a Hurricane, ready to go. Just as they would have been on airfields all over the southeast in the summer of 1940. Everyone just waiting for the call to scramble. But there was a great deal more to be seen reflecting those times beyond tanks and guns. For example, you could watch or try your hand at 1940 dances, or even how to perform a burlesque performance. You could stop here at the Café Tabac, a reconstruction and reenactment of a French resistance HQ, in the bar. Where else? Which could have been a scene from Allo Allo. And in fact, some of the cast of that programme were in character at the show and will be again this year.
Listen very carefully. I will say this only. Thank you.
As you can see, they fit right in here, and they were on hand to entertain, and you could actually have your picture taken with them if you want. As well as the entertainment venues, there were around 1,000 retail stalls and stands, selling whatever pretty well takes your fancy, from 1940s clothing and memorabilia in the vintage marketplace, as well as a huge variety of military hardware, spare parts, deactivated weapons and services. For example, there may be hundreds of Jeeps still around, but things like the canvases don't last so well. And so, if you needed a replacement, you could get that at the show. In fact, if you had the money to hand, you could probably buy a tank or another armoured vehicle to go home in. But vehicles, weapons, dioramas and displays are just the hardware to be found. There were also many veterans of conflicts there as well, who, with a bit of prompting, will pass on their stories and memories to you. This is a Staghound heavy armoured car of World War II vintage. An example can be seen with its crew in a photograph taken in 1944. And this is John Dudley, who was part of that crew.
And your name is?
John Dudley.
And what regiment were you in?
I don't know, I was in the East Surrey Regiment in those days, in Greece, 1944.
And that photograph was taken when and where?
Taken at Kalkis, that's Khalkis, in Greece.
How many years ago was that then?
1944. What's that, that's about 70 years, isn't it?
Indeed.
All around the huge site, there were living history groups putting on displays with vehicles, weapons and equipment. Most, although not all, also found their way into the main display battle arena, just across from the Victorian grandstand. Each day, battles were staged to demonstrate what warfare from their particular era most likely would have looked like, with all of the associated pyrotechnics needed to bring it all to life. So this is a fantastic treat for enthusiasts as well as those looking for a very different day out for the whole family. And in 2014, the action was started with a resounding shoot by these air-portable 75mm light guns, manned by an airborne reenactment group.